He never told me he was married, but I saw his wedding band. He didn't even hide it, and even if he did, he was wearing a white lace and black loafers in a club. Is that not an announcement? But I have never been bothered by marital status. If a woman was careless, well, it was not my fault. Silly me. But ladies, hear me. Anytime you see a guy who is wealthy, succeeding in his career, and very self-aware and confident, go and verify he is most definitely married. The only advice I can give you is run. Run, no. It's not even about only making another woman sad or taking what is not yours. It is the majority of the time when it is time for Christmas. It is the side chick that they normally use for Christmas meats. Hey, you don't understand, Abby? Okay, keep listening and you will. But please go and subscribe. Make sure you are subscribed though. Thanks. Hurry up and come and hear how my life turned from 0 to 100 real fast. Are you back? See, wherever you are, just find somewhere comfortable to sit down, grab your tea, coffee, coke, and listen to this tale worth telling. Let me tell you how a married man scored 666 on my head and won the game. When I met Danladi for the first time, he came to buy fuel at the gas station during scarcity season. And even though we had also hiked our price, I sold at the regular pump price for him and told my boss he was part of my family. They all welcomed him, and since then, no matter what part of Abuja he is in, he will always come to my station to buy fuel. He would tip me, tip my colleagues as well. We heard that he was a politician and he was going to contest in the next election. Everyone told me how lucky I was to have found Danladi. Before long, he encouraged me to go back to school since I dropped out of grade 8 and I was not ready to go back. I was learning how to bake, but the boss was too strict for me. Working at the gas station was easier and I had my own freedom. Danladi tried, I must confess. He rented a flat for me from Friday night. We were always together till he had to go to work on Monday. Eventually, he just let me be. In the service flat, there was 24 hours electricity and internet. It was heaven in that apartment with the central AC blowing cool air always. My friends always loved coming over. Even when my parents came to visit, they were impressed. If you see the things that Ladi gave them when they were leaving, it was more than some people's bride price, I tell you. If you see the way my father was begging him to take it easy with me and to report me to him if ever I misbehaved. Imagine, no one spoke about Danladi's wife to me, so in my world she was non-existent, but I heard she was a workaholic and hardly had time for the home front. Danladi put me on a salary and that was what existed in my world for now. He gave me his ATM just in case I needed to buy something on top of my allowance. I changed. No one could recognize me. My hair, my dressing, my skin, everything changed. I was looking like a goddess. Danladi was always paying me compliments. His friends would all come and visit when he was with me and I gave them a good time. Good food and something to watch. They usually watched the news. When they were leaving, it was always cash galore. I had bags in all colors, shoes to match. My friends were even envious, telling me I should enjoy it while I could. Why couldn't they just accept that this was my new life? These were my thoughts at the time. I can't even believe that I was that crazy. I will never forget the joy on Danladi's face when I announced my pregnancy. He was overjoyed, and that was the first time he made reference to his wife. He told me that he had been married for 17 years and they had never had a child, and his greatest desire in life was to be called a father. He told me that he would get me a driver for the car he bought me. It was like I was in a second heaven. I registered at Reddington Hospital and I saw specialists only. I'm telling you, it was like I was going to deliver the next savior. See, I know that Nuru was the person I promised to marry. He was a panel beater who had gotten the job of the fuel attendant for me. I thought being with Danladi was short term, but as you can see, it's not my fault that favor smiled on me. I thought I could make a little more money and jackpot, but you see this soft life? Nuru, sorry, maybe next time. By the time I entered the second semester, Danladi began to behave strangely. I mean, he would spend the weekend with me, but he wasn't really present. Do you understand? He would be on his phone, and I didn't want to bother him since I was living the good life, but my mind was not at ease, and one day I had to confront him. Danladi, who is this person that is not letting you focus on your family? I no longer feel your presence, and the baby is feeling it too. He laughed and assured me that there was no one. I knew he was lying. His friends had stopped coming to the house. Something was definitely wrong. I couldn't place it. The worst part was I didn't even know what to do. I had to call Nuru and tell him what was going on. And he told me as soon as I had the baby, I should give Danladi the child and come back to him. Honestly, it sounded like a good plan. All I needed to do was to save as much as I could. Danladi transferred 10 million naira to shop for the baby stuff. I transferred all to Nuru's account because the gifts from Danladi's friends were more than enough. I also had money in my account, and for the first time, Danladi did not come that weekend. I was heartbroken. I called Nuru and he told me not to worry, but just to count down to the time when we'll be together. It hurts me because soft life had become normal for me. I didn't want to go back to the trenches, but I could see the handwriting on the wall. Nuru kept sending me text messages to encourage me. I tried to stop spending money uselessly and started saving for a future with Nuru. When Danladi came home, he would refuse to sleep, saying it was election season and he was heavily involved. He even took a brief nap in the living room one day and he refused to go to the bedroom. While he was fast asleep, I checked his phone. I had never done that, but I knew the way he met me, he must have met somebody else. I needed to know, and I opened his phone and checked. It wasn't her. I found her. She was Shax. What an alias. I didn't know, but there were lots of love messages back and forth between the two of them. I couldn't spend much time on the phone, but I was certain my end was coming and I was almost ready. I too would shock him before I left. When he woke, he checked his phone and ran like he was being chased. He didn't even wear his babariga. He carried it with him. Who is this Shax? When I go out, people keep glancing in admiration at me as a lucky lady. They didn't know that there was trouble in paradise. My pregnancy was getting near term. If I called Danladi, he'll answer like he was irritated. Where was the Danladi who bought me gold and laces and enjoyed my company? When my mother called to ask me about coming to help me take care of the baby, I told her that there was a change of plans and she shouldn't worry. Nuru had rented a 2-bedroom bungalow for us in another city far from Abuja. He told me that as soon as I was strong, we would go there. There was hope. Then I fell into labor. I called Danladi. He didn't come, but he sent his PA. I was in pain. I couldn't even complain. I was rushed to the hospital and I heard the PA tell doctor that Danladi said I must have the best treatment. That calmed me down. Maybe he still cared, but I had my son a minute to midnight and I called him Ibrahim. Till I was discharged and I got home, Danladi did not come. He wasn't there. And when he came, we were like strangers instead of being like the family I imagined. He was happy to see the child, but did not acknowledge me like I expected. The child was a crying child. Ah, my people, I was losing my mind. This boy cried always. I regretted not sending for my mom. I was always sleepy and tired. And when I called Danladi for help, he told me he was coming. He never came, or he came too late. I was alone with Ibrahim for 2 weeks by myself. I had made up my mind I would withdraw 20 million from Danladi's card. By then, I should have about 50 million stashed with Nuru. This mommy life was not for me. When I confided in Hajara, my friend, she agreed with me. I could find another Danladi or just go back to Nuru. And so I packed all my stuff in the boot of the SUV Danladi gave me. And when Danladi finally came, it was very late on on Saturday evening, about 9:30 p.m. I told him I needed to buy a spice across the road to help with breastfeeding because, in all honesty, I was having a hard time. He held his son and sat to watch TV. I took my car keys, my bag. I didn't even look back. Good. Now let him and Shaks take care of this baby. As soon as I drove out, I blocked his number. I called Nuru. He met me at the junction, and so it was easy road to freedom. I left because even if I didn't leave, that laddie had already left me. When Ibrahim is older, he will look for me because that was not the life I bargained for. I glanced at Nuru. Wasn't I lucky? Nuru didn't have much, but he was handsome, and now we had money to start a life. When we got to his house, he had already made his signature porridge for me. Within 30 minutes, I had closed my eyes and dozed off. I was dog tired. I remember Nuru waking me up. He looked scared. He handed me the phone. "Take, it's for you," he said. Confused, I took it. It was that laddie. "Why did you block my number?" he said. "Why did you leave the baby? I've been trying to reach you. What kind of mother abandons a 3-week-old infant? If you know what's good for you, come back and cater to your child." I didn't care how he was able to track me down. I exploded. "Listen to me, that laddie. Please don't ever call this number again. You want to use that child to trap me, and then you want to abandon me, but I am smarter than you. He is your child. Take care of him. Don't ever bother me again. I'm free from you, and money is not everything." "Money is not everything," he said. "Are you telling me that money is not everything, but you cleared my accounts and you went with my car? Aisha, you ran to a man's house and you forgot your responsibility. What kind of mother are you?" "That laddie, or whatever you call yourself," I said, "I'm still young and I want to pursue my dreams. Leave me alone." He was the one who cut the phone. I could feel his anger from here. You guys may judge me, but please understand that that laddie wanted to make a fool out of me, and I needed to teach him a lesson. I handed the phone back to Nuru and I went back to sleep. The baby was crying in the background. He was that laddie's responsibility now. I closed my eyes to continue my sleep. Nuru was busy moving our stuff. I knew all was not well when I opened my eyes in the morning. Nuru was gone. My car was gone. My money was gone. Nuru had abandoned me in the house and fled with all I had. Everybody come on. The worst part is he went with my phone. Well, I was in my parents' house washing my clothes when Hajara ran to me. It was a social media post of that laddie on her phone, and he was with his wife and a baby. I knew it was Ibrahim. I knew it was him. I read the story. Honorable Danladi and Shakirat Nasara. Wait, what? Shakirat? Is that not Shaks? So Danladi was actually cheating on me with his wife. Now they have my baby and their family was complete. The family I was looking to have. Wow, Danladi still played me. Or did I even play myself? Well, in that case, I need my baby back. Nuru did me dirty, left with all my belongings. I was only able to retrieve my line and no one had seen him. I had nothing. If not that my parents took me in, it was this time that scales fell from my eyes and I decided I needed to get my son back. I needed to find a lawyer. I needed to go to the Human Rights Commission. Where are all those agencies that fight injustice? This is man's inhumanity to man. Why would they take my son and make him part of their family? I needed to get legal counsel. In fact, it was this moment I realized how silly I was. Very, very silly. Do you know that Danladi and his wife are both lawyers? So it was even a failed attempt and I ended up with the short end of the stick. Let me tell you what happened. I got a lawyer, even though she encouraged me to settle out of court, but I hoped that there was a little chance. since the law states that a child below 18 should always stay with the mother if there is a breakup from the parents. However, the court disappointed me and gave full custody to Danladi. The court did not consider my tears or the fact that Danladi used my baby to complete his family. Instead, they kept saying that they were working for the benefit of the baby. So the beautiful home Danladi had and the fact that Danladi was well able to take care of him was in the best interest of the child. I was pained. They recorded calls where I told Danladi I was not ready to be burdened with the child, and various other insults I hurled on him that day were played in courts. It didn't look good at all. Also, the fact that I withdrew the balance on his card that day I was leaving and went with his car even made matters worse, because it proved that I came back because of money and not because I came to my senses or that I missed my son. Danladi was kind not to even contest visitation rights, and even the day I went to see my son, I could not even go because I had no transport money. Their house was too far. Danladi finally had to send a car to pick me up, and when I saw my child, he was so happy and well fed. Deep down, I knew he was in the best environment. I counted 3 nannies just for this baby. The court was right. The baby was well cared for. Nuru was still on the run, and I was back at the filling station, back to the gutter where it all started. Yes, the baby was home with Danladi, and I had no choice but to accept this fact. Thank you so much for watching this tale worth telling. If you feel Aisha should have reacted differently, please let me know in the comment section, and if not, give me a like. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.